Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is soon to become Nintendo's best-selling game of all time. After a decade of dominance, this juggernaut of a game cemented the Mario Kart series as Nintendo's most culturally relevant and successful brand in their lineup, even surpassing the mainline Mario series of games. From what was first received as a good but bare-bones sequel to the years of relentless content drops, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has proven itself to perhaps be the greatest Mario Kart game to date. This game has over 96 tracks, including over half the amount of unique tracks in the entire series. The task of making a game that surpasses 8 Deluxe would nearly be impossible. But if they were to try, they would need to pull out all the stops. They would need to make a game that was entirely unexpected, but without a doubt, inevitable. Mario Kart World did the thing we never thought would be done. Open world racing felt like a pipe dream less than a year ago. But here, a few months after its release, I still don't think I've quite grasped the insanity that is this game. From the knockout tours to the trick mechanics, this game is so deep and full of love and ambition. The map of Mario Kart World feels like something I would have drawn during recess when I was a kid. And being able to experience the real thing today as an adult is truly a blessing. However, as much as I love both of these games, they're not without their flaws. Today, that's what we're here to test. I've narrowed these games' features into 10 categories. Each round, we will take a look at one category, and the game that is more successful in said category will earn a star. The Mario Kart game with the most stars at the end of 10 rounds will be our winner. So, who will become champion? The tenured veteran Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or the rookie challenger Mario Kart World? Place your bets in the comments below and feel free to play along before each category. With all of that out of the way, let round 1 begin. Round 1. Tracks. Perhaps the make or break part of any Mario Kart game. If the game doesn't have good tracks, it's not even really worth playing. Luckily, that's not the case with either of these games. These games both have instant classics that are up there with some of the best. 8 Deluxe has Mount Wario, Sunshine Airport, and Big Blue. Mario Kart World's got Dry Bones Burnout, Great Question Block Ruins, and Acorn Heights. On the retro tracks front, World's got every fan favorite you could possibly think of. However, I'd be huffing fire flowers if I just glossed over the fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has 96 tracks. In most proper game analysis, having this be the determining factor would be utterly ridiculous. Quantity surely shouldn't be praised more over quality. And while I would agree that the quality of the Booster Course Pass's 48 tracks is less than both the base game of 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart World, 96 tracks is still 96 tracks. The most important factor when it comes to replayability in Mario Kart is novelty, and nothing brings more novelty than more tracks. You can make the argument that Mario Kart World has more tracks based on its over 200 connecting track variations, but if you've played the game, you know that would be pretty disingenuous. I'd also go as far to say that the track selection and layouts in Mario Kart World were neutered to fit the world layout. Tracks like Desert Hills lose all the charm and challenge they had and become more spread out and immersive to the world, but less fun overall. While other Mario Kart World tracks like Peach Beach and Crown City are just completely butchered to fit into the world concept. I think the quality of Mario Kart World's tracks are high, but I'd be lying if I said these 30 even hold a candle to what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has to offer. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wins this round. Round 2. Mechanics. Mario Kart 8 built upon what Mario Kart 7 did, focusing on kart customizations, gliders, and underwater driving. On top of that, 8 introduced the anti-grav mechanic to most tracks, allowing players to get a boost from running into other players and objects. Mario Kart World throws all of that away, removing underwater driving, kart customization, and anti-grav. However, in its place, introduced the greatest mechanic to the game since drifting. Tricking fundamentally changes the way you see a Mario Kart track. It's no longer just about the tightest lines and proper item bagging. Tricking makes every object on the track a chance to gain an advantage. A gap with a pole, a shortcut. The inside wall of a track, a shortcut. A random floating ring plus the inside wall of the other side of the track, another shortcut. Tricking takes the fairly simple concept of a party racing game and makes the tracks your own little playground. After just a few days of playing Mario Kart World, I went back to 8 Deluxe, and I was completely shocked to notice how stiff and rigid that game feels compared to World. While it might just be novelty goggles, World's trick mechanics make every race on a track and every experience in free roam feel new and innovative. With Mario Kart World's mechanics, every discovery feels revolutionary, while 8 Deluxe lacks any quick on-the-fly gameplay and causes more autopilot racing. Mario Kart World handily takes this round. Round 3. Presentation. For many years, I would always cite Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as Nintendo's best looking game. While games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom might be more ambitious and expansive, I always went back to saying 8 Deluxe just for how much it perfected the look it was going for. For 11 years, this held true, but with Mario Kart World in the mix, I'm not so sure. I won't deny that some parts of Mario Kart World look considerably middling. However, this is an open world game, and if I'm going to give 8 Deluxe points for its 96 tracks, I'm also going to judge it based on all 96 tracks. Outside of the obvious punching bag that is Toad Circuit, other tracks like Mario Circuit 3, Daisy Cruiser, and even a base game track like Sweet Sweet Canyon are just kind of sore sights on the eyes. Most of the 8 Deluxe tracks, and specifically the original DLC tracks, are jaw-dropping in comparison, but World's detail and ambition are just top-notch. The seamless transition from the main menu to free roam, the Toads getting out of their cars and getting onto tour buses. It feels like a living, breathing world while also not sacrificing any detail. This is tough because I feel the highs of 8 Deluxe are higher here, but for consistency and detail, Mario Kart World takes the presentation star. Round 4. Grand Prix. While I've already had a round dedicated to the tracks themselves, I still think it's important to go over the Grand Prix on its own. The Grand Prix from the beginning is the foundation of Mario Kart itself. It is the main game mode in which you first experience and unlock all of the tracks. It's where you go and gain your bearings and learn the basics. Most of the time when picking up Mario Kart, you don't just go straight into versus mode and select tracks. You select a curated Grand Prix to either play through by yourself or with a group on the couch. It's Mario Kart in its purest form. So I hate to say this, but Mario Kart World just completely missed the mark when it comes to Grand Prix mode. I would usually go over the pros and cons of both games, but Mario Kart World messed up Grand Prix so much that it's just not much of a competition at all here. Firstly, each Grand Prix in this game is set in a different region of the map. You race 3 laps on the first course and then move on to the next track. However, in this game, you have to drive to each track and only get to do 1 proper lap before moving on. Now, I understand this is Mario Kart World, the open world Mario Kart game. The connected tracks are the main selling point of this game in the first place. However, it just doesn't work here. I love the connected tracks in Knockout Tour and Free Roam, but they're just not that fun in standard races, and even less fun when in Grand Prix mode. The fun part of Grand Prix mode was the unique variety they had for each cup. But when one cup only has desert tracks and one cup only has snow tracks, you can see how that can feel a bit deflating and monotonous. So, like Luigi doing nothing, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe ties this game up and takes the Grand Prix star. Round 5. Roster. The roster of characters, while not being the most impactful when it comes to gameplay, is fairly important as a means of personality. Some people picked their character a decade ago and have stuck true since. Some people play the meta and play the most optimal character, while others like to hop around at a whim. Either way, the characters at your disposal make Mario Kart a game where you can show off a little personality as you wish. However, this category isn't as simple as which game has a bigger roster. In fact, each game has exactly 50 unique characters. I was kind of shocked to hear this, but it's in fact true. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has many side characters such as all 7 Koopalings, the Inklings, the Villagers, Link, and much more. While Mario Kart World took a different approach and added many NPC characters like Cow, Parabitibug, Goomba, and Conkedor. Just going based on the quality of characters, 8 Deluxe should win this easily. Even if you're not a fan of the non-Mario characters, other additions like Kamek and Petey Piranha are behemoths compared to oddball characters like Rocky Wrench and Swoop that come from Mario Kart World. However, the trick up World sleeve that 8 Deluxe can't deny are the costumes. The costumes make what should be a narrow lead for 8 Deluxe a steamroll in Mario Kart World's direction. Aviator Mario, Fast Food Yoshi, Sightseeing Peach, just to name 3 out of the over 103 costumes in this game. Give World the easy win here. While they could use some tightening up in the character selection menu department, World easily snatches the character roster star. Round 6. Side modes. An underrepresented part of the Mario Kart series is the history of side modes. For most of its history, it's just been the basics. Battle mode with balloon battle and the occasional coin runners. Some games branch out of this mold and give us a mission mode, but besides that, the main draw of playing Mario Kart are just the races. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's main selling point was the focus on revamping battle mode. For years it had been neglected, forcing you to play balloon battles and coin runners on standard tracks. However, in the port they added 8 dedicated battle maps, alongside 5 battle modes. In contrast, Mario Kart World made the same mistake Mario Kart 8 made. The 2 most boring battle modes played on tracks are truly embarrassing for a game that's been in the works for this long. I understand they want to make sure that they all fit in the open world, but this is really just a massive step back from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. However, this round isn't about battle mode. It's about side modes, and if we're going to compare side mode offerings, Mario Kart World completely destroys 8 Deluxe. Firstly, as I just said a second ago, the open world completely changes the way we view Mario Kart. Everyone's been begging for a new 3D Mario platformer, and we've got it. Mario Kart World, for all intents and purposes, is a 3D platformer. Free roam and its missions throughout make Mario Kart a game not just about racing, but about puzzle solving and mechanic mastering. While I wish there was more purpose to these free roam missions, the gameplay at your disposal here is genuinely very well crafted. Not to mention, you're driving around in an open world Mario Kart. If you can't appreciate that, then I just don't know what to say. Oh, and I almost forgot, Knockout mode is by far the best part of this game. It takes the open world concept of these tracks and puts it into a race mode that consistently has the stress of a lap 3. It's my most replayed mode for a reason. It's just highly addictive. I'm never driving in autopilot thinking about something else. I'm constantly in a state of anxiety trying to stay out of the bottom 4. It is the perfect world-spanning mode that takes the best parts of free roam and Grand Prix. If they can just add custom knockout mode routes, I honestly don't think I would ever make another video. I'd just be playing that all day. So until then, free roam and knockout make up for Mario Kart World's weak battle mode showing and steal the side mode star right out of 8 Deluxe's hands. Round 7. Couch co-op. This was probably the toughest star I had to decide on. It's hard because these games are both incredible multiplayer experiences. Mario Kart as an overall experience is the go-to casual game. Mario Party takes too long, Smash's skill ceiling is way too high, but Mario Kart is the nice middle ground where anyone can hop in, learn the controls, and have a shot at having a good time. The best player will usually win, but a race at tops is a 3-minute experience, and if someone really wants to hop off and pass the controller, that's entirely fine. However, while these experiences are similar, they are fairly different. Firstly, 24 racers is way too much. It works in knockout mode, but aside from that, playing with friends feels more like playing against bots. Sure, in 8 Deluxe there are also CPUs, but not to the extent that are in World. There's just not many moments in a group setting that feel earned. Not like you're playing against your friends. Then, when selecting courses, you have 2 options, Grand Prix or Versus mode. I've gone over my problems with Grand Prix already, and if you're playing Versus and you're not careful, people are going to end up accidentally selecting connected courses. Part of the gameplay loop that makes multiplayer Mario Kart so great is that after lap 1, every person has experience on that course, so they can always try and improve each subsequent lap. It sucks because I love the concept of the open world connected races, but the truth of the matter is they're just not as fun as classic 3-lap tracks. As much as I respect and admire this game, fun is king, and if it's not fun with friends, I just can't reward it. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wins the couch co-op star. Round 8. Items. When you think of classic Mario Kart experiences, moments where you get Mario Karted, items are at the center of those experiences. Whether it be the Spiny Shells edition in Mario Kart 64 or the train wreck that was the Thundercloud in Mario Kart Wii, items are the lifeblood of Mario Kart and make Mario Kart and not Forza. The items Mario Kart 8 added were the Boomerang Flower, Piranha Plant, Super Horn, and the Crazy 8. 8 Deluxe also re-added the Boo, while also bringing back the Feather for battle mode. Mario Kart World added the Ice Flower, Hammer, Coin Shell, the Coin Box, Kamek, the dash food, alongside re-adding the Mega Mushroom and the Feather for racing. You know, up until this very moment, I had this whole script planned out, and I actually had Mario Kart World winning the items section. However, after looking at this list of items added to World, I'm starting to question what the actual f*** they were thinking. 3 items dedicated to coins, the Kamek item that is basically just a loot box, the Ice Flower and Hammer, which are just worse versions of the Fire Flower, and then of course, the Feather item. I won't deny I was excited to see the Feather return to races. However, not only is it practically worthless, it actively slows you down when using it. Never in 33 years of Mario Kart have they botched an item so badly. At least with the Thundercloud, it was purposely bad. The Feather is an item that is supposed to help you, but actively hurts your chances of winning by accident. It's great in free roam, I won't deny that, but all they needed to do was give the player a boost with the Feather. Instead, it's a curse. It keeps you from using items until you eventually get the very specific situation where the Feather is finally useful, or when you just get hit and drop all your items. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe somehow wins the item star by Mario Kart World's complete incompetence. Round 9, online. This round is obviously not going to take very long, but I still want to go over why and not just hate on forced intermission races once again. So here we go. Yes, there is no option for standard 3-lap online multiplayer, but that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Mario Kart World's online flopping. Tournaments are a cornerstone of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's multiplayer experience. If they simply brought it back for Mario Kart World, this would fix all of their problems. If we did, it would be so easy to make a lobby for your specific wants in a race. Instead, it's intermissions, knockout, or battle mode. Free roam can sort of be played with friends, but it's really just a lobby for you to mess around in while waiting to start a race. Again, I hate to do this. I take no joy in punching the sore spot that's been continually berated on, but after playing through all the single-player Grand Prix and Knockout Tour, and my appetite for free roam being satiated, online is the logical next step I would want to play. But I find myself still going back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because no matter what, I get to play a quality 3-lap track, and I just can't guarantee that in Mario Kart World. Unfortunately, 8 Deluxe takes the online star. In the future, this could obviously change, but for right now, this is what it is. Round 10. Soundtrack. Our final star is the soundtrack star. While most people would say music isn't an essential aspect of a game to judge, I beg to differ. Sound holds and cements memories. Hearing a song from a game long ago can recreate vivid images of you playing it as a kid, while new music is there to build those memories alongside you. Mario Kart is no slouch when it comes to sound department. This series' ability to create long-lasting effects that stick with you is close to unmatched in the video game industry. So when I say these two games and any other matchup would wipe the floor with their competition, I mean it. However, we've got to have a winner. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe uses a jazz fusion genre that fits the game perfectly. It's upbeat, fun, and fast. Clear standouts include Dolphin Shoals, Mount Wario, and Big Blue. Whether you've spent 15 minutes or 1,500 hours playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you could recognize what game this is from in a second. The music tracks in this game are all so high quality. You could tell me there's not a dud in this soundtrack, and I'd believe you. I've also just got to give a shout out to the Tour City track themes. I'm not a huge fan of those courses, but my god, tracks like Sydney Sprint just get my head bumping. Aside from the Super Smash Bros. Soundtrack having every single important song in video game history, this soundtrack could be up there with the best of all time. But then we have Mario Kart World, a game with 30 tracks, but over 200 unique routes. How in the world were they going to create themes, not just for the tracks, but for every possible location you might end up in? Well, it might be more simple than you think. Remix everything. Old Mario Kart themes, remixed. Other Mario game themes, remixed. The map screen theme from Super Mario World, remixed. If it's a song and it's from Mario, it's more than likely in this game. And these aren't just remasters or reworks of past work. These are from the ground up remix tracks incorporating jazz fusion and big band genre elements. For example, take a listen to the Super Mario Bros. Underground theme remix. Was that, or was that not, the most insane thing you've ever heard in your entire life? That was some whiplash, not my tempo sorcery right there. I want to so badly give 8 Deluxe this star based on just how perfect every track in this game is, but I'd be an idiot if I said it even held a candle to Mario Kart World's soundtrack. It's perfect, no notes, perfect. If you don't believe me, after this video, go to the Mario Kart World OST playlist on YouTube and just hit next on shuffle. Your mind will be churned and blended in ways you've never experienced before. So before my own ears melt from pleasure, let me give Mario Kart World our final star. Oh, it's tied. I guess they tie? Okay, thank God. We've got 3 bonus stars to give out, each a reason why that respective Mario Kart game should be our champion. Our first bonus star is the no DLC star. While it's fun to compare these two games, it really is unfair to compare a game that's had 11 years to become what it is to one that came out just a few months ago. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had 3 major content drops since 2014, and I think it's very likely Mario Kart World could see the same kind of treatment. So as a bit of a handicap, I think it's only fair that Mario Kart World takes this star. Our second bonus star is the Abundance star. I said it at the beginning of this video, but I just have to say this fact again because it's utterly ridiculous. There are 182 unique tracks in the Mario Kart franchise. 96 of them are in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. For as much as you can criticize that game for its city tracks and lackluster mechanics, the sheer fact that it nearly has half the amount of tracks in the entire series is absurd. So I just have to give it its flowers. So it all comes down to this. Which game is truly the best Mario Kart game of all time? The final star is the impossible star, and it goes to Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World did the impossible and made open world Mario Kart not just a possibility, but reality. It may not be what you want all of the time, but you cannot deny the magnitude of this achievement. This game was a fantasy that we never thought would happen, and here we are with it in our hands now. If you can't take a second to respect and admire that fact, I don't know what to say. It's open world Mario Kart. There is nothing to say. It just wins. Anyways, do you think I got this right, or did you think I made a blunder along the way? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. We're nearly at 300,000 subscribers, and we have a big surprise to announce when we hit that milestone. So, as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Mac from the Switch Stop signing out. Peace.